What's going on, everybody? It's your boy. I'm back. Yes, indeed. I'm Brian Redmond, and this is the Relationship Rehab. And on tonight, yes, as they say in the church, on tonight, we have a really good show for you. It is what it is, man. But thank God for Rumble. That's all I can say, man. And if you have not, please go subscribe to my Rumble, because this here ain't promised. And also, subscribe to the Guru and the Whore over on Rumble too. Tommy and I about to start doing our show again. Yeah. When are we as black folks? Everybody talk about when black community gonna ever come together. When black folks gonna ever get it right. Will black folks ever be able to overcome? Oh, he been saying that shit for 40 years since I've been around. I think it needs to be a little bit more basic than that. I know this may be a shocker. But when are we as black folks just gonna treat each other with respect? When are we gonna treat each other with respect? How do I better myself? It's by doing the work myself. I need to work on myself by changing myself. How do I better my people? I need to change the thought process and the thought patterns of our people. Period. That's just what it is. Period. That's just what it is. I don't think that the social engineers were able to see it this far, but the idea and the premise to say, hey, if we can get the main decision maker and the leader out of the home, then we as the government can essentially control this group of people. And that's just something that has been factual with just society. When the man is not in charge of the home, when the man is not present in the home, then it leaves the family vulnerable. It just does. And so I believe that was done purposely for a position of control. What racist system is holding back the 3 black mayors? 3 black mayors. They don't fucking care. They let these niggas run over the streets. They let these niggas. I'm just saying. What system is holding back the mayor of Chicago? What racist system is holding back the mayor of New York? You tell me. Fill me in. Let me know what racist system got these mayors held back. Ain't none. And let me end wrap up with this, and I'm going to smoke my cigar. Take good.
We keep the party jumping all night long until we into the early morn. We don't stop and we don't quit, cause we drop hits and it's dope shit.
There's a party at the Wild Wild Club tonight, and the party ain't over till the morning light. We them ballers from the 1, 2, 3, rolling VIP. We bought the bar, so we drinking M-R-E-E. I brought a brand new 6, and you haters despise, cause when the wheels stop the spinning, grown hypnotized. Teeth chatter from the ice on my neck and wrist, and you can dance if you want it or just
I be rolling down the street, smoking hydro, sipping on gin and juice, baby. I be rolling down the street, smoking hydro, sipping on gin and juice, baby.
As the Hennessy into me, I roll weed, how I'm finna be, cause that's me. Banking for a century, with my G's, pouring liquor for the memories. Feeling free, where them thugs in the clubs now. We getting high, drunk till we lazy eye. No lie, we them Bentleys that roll by. That's right, we them cats got them hoes like all night. We the baddest and we know this. A bunch of thug motherfuckers taking no shit. Y'all Mars can't hang with the Wild Wild. and got the nerve to try to perpetrate with our style. See, we them players riding out in them 6-4s, rimmed up, hitting switches, fucking thick hoes, smoking blunts all night, getting our rocks off. Pissy drunk in the streets till the cops off. See, we untouchable while y'all get the wax shit. It's VIP anywhere that the max sit. So y'all cats better recognize who I be. A thugged out young millionaire from the streets. And OG.
I be rolling down the street, smoking hydro, sipping on gin and juice, gin and juice, gin and juice, baby. I be rolling down the street, smoking hydro, sipping on gin and juice, gin and juice, gin and juice, baby.
I'm from the crew that can't be stopped. Jump in my ride like my car, baby, drop your top. I ain't even on that bullshit. I'm in the full clips. I'm about to stack chips, fuck dips, rock hips. As I ride off the scene on dubs, blow hate and blow me. On my way to the club, I know this beat is hot to death, so I'ma thank Mac Love. We left them corners long ago, but we still rap for the thugs. And I'm like ecstasy when you're next to me. Wild Wild is the only niggas close to me, the only ones that show me love. I don't think y'all wanna fuck with us.
I be rolling down the street, smoking hydro, sipping on gin and juice, gin and juice, gin and juice, baby. I be rolling down the street, smoking hydro, sipping on gin and juice, gin and juice, gin and juice, baby. Y'all niggas can't fuck with me, no, 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 you niggas can't fuck with me, no. Y'all niggas can't fuck with me, no, 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 no. Y'all niggas can't fuck with me, no, 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 you niggas can't fuck with me, no. Y'all niggas can't fuck with me, no, 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 no. Y'all niggas can't fuck with me, no, 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 you niggas can't fuck with me, no. Y'all niggas can't fuck with me, no, 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 no. Y'all niggas can't fuck with me, no, 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 you niggas can't fuck with me, no. Y'all niggas can't fuck with me, no, 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 no.
This for the niggas and bitches, bitches and niggas who be hitting them switches and pulling them triggers, who be crumbling weed and rolling them swishers. Keep on banging on corners and drinking that liquor. Keep that thug shit real when you fucking with me. Keep your sights on steel when you gunning for me. I put my pistol in your mouth and tell your ass to goggle. Gangsta shit so potent it should be sold in bottles. Take a sip and go to hell, get drunk and end up in the trunk. Fuck jail, you thinking DUI? No, that ain't how you die. It was my thugs and slugs that was the reason why. You niggas thought I was soft, but now it's blood that you caught. And now these shells hit the ground as I'm busting off. 9 double in Beretta, no there's nothing better. Tear the flesh in your chest and now your shirt is wetter. Me and this Wild Wild together like we husband and wife. Cause gangsta shit ain't just a song, it's a way of life. We are the thugs. Bloodshed, pussy niggas is dead. Hollow points tipped with lead, putting gaps through heads. That's what it be like when the street lights get to flickering. Niggas get to bickering and slugs get to tickling. We them niggas that just don't ask. We take your cash, transplant or put in your ass. Right hand to your left eye. Hey, Mr. Tough Guy, when slugs fly, I guarantee your shirt won't dry. In times of peace, my niggas playing wars. Stack dope, sit mowing, then we bang whores. We been through gang wars. We bout that green, we bout that murder scene. Pull a tool that's sure to leave your shoulders clean. Cause when it all goes down, I got that heat. You was slow on the drawing, now you burn me. Because we are the thugs.
Y'all niggas ain't shit but wannabes and slug. But not for my fucking enemies and blood. For my niggas, I was shorty bleed my blood. For my niggas, I was shorty bleed. It's Gio, the same nigga that was ready for war, ready for fame and everything it had in store. And I ain't changed, I'm still on the block with my dog, smoking weed, busting shells, leaving the block for the fall. For my niggas who didn't get to see me achieve. Some died over beef and some died over greed. I'm smoking weed, I'm trying to get rid of the pain. Lord, please bless me to continue my thing. I'm from the streets, and it's been a hard knock life. I'm in it deep, and that's why I don't think nice. I don't sleep, and that's why I don't like lights. I hold heat, and that's why you won't blink twice.
We are the monsters. We're born to die. We also for money, for bitches and get high.
What y'all wanna bang with me, bust them things with me? You little bitch ass niggas can't hang with me. Why be the hood of the no good? Breaking your studio niggas down to the flow wood. I'm here to check the game, nigga, respect the name. Or I'ma pull my 4-5 out and select the brain, inject the pain, and leave you for the news to cover. Another victim of Mac Lover, wild motherfucker. Y'all ain't never seen a motherfucking street like me. Ballin' from the Midwest, bringing heat like me. So niggas make way, cause I'ma bring it to you hard. No mercy on your mark. So bow down to my facade and feel the pressure. A real thug from the streets, we do what we wanna do. Nigga, fuck the police, I'm the mouth of madness. Bringing the pain and the sadness, I be the baddest. Smoking niggas to the ashes, Alpha and Omega. Spitting raw from Thug Data. Dark as Darth Vader with the strength of the creator.
When it all goes down, nigga. When it all goes down, talk to me.
There we go. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Brian Redmond, and I'm ready to get started. So I'm gonna cut that intro, and we're gonna get right into the show. I hope you guys are having a good night. It is Friday. It's Friday, and I'm ready to swing. That's that Aaliyah. See that the black boy, we said Aaliyah, but that Aaliyah. Oh, it's all right. Yeah, buddy. Free R. Kelly, shit. While I'm at it, might as well, you know. Let me make sure my video is good. It looks good. Audio's all right too. I take it y'all can hear me, right? What the guan? What a guan? Yeah, what do you know about that? Irie, man. Everything's all right, man. Here in Jamaica, we don't have problems. We only have situations. Yes. What's going on? My man Calvin Dickinson in the building. Yes, indeed. Simply Deep is in the building. Filler Gang B is in the building. Let me give some shout outs. I see y'all. Okay, my man Billy Goat, Raphael, Tyler. We going back here. Yeah, I see y'all. Make sure y'all click that like button, man. Since especially since YouTube's done fixed the algorithm, man, and your boy can start getting some traction once again. After all that discrimination. Kazama, what's up, man? What's happening? It's good to see y'all, man. It's good to see y'all. Yeah, we're gonna have ourselves a good old time tonight, man. I have been wanting to do this show for quite some time now. It's been definitely a few days since last weekend. I've been wanting to do it, and I wanted to make sure I did it right and wanted to make sure I had the time to do it, which is what tonight is all about. Yes, tonight is the night. Tonight is the night. All right, so I am really feeling good tonight. I even took me a cat nap earlier today. My wife watched me sleep on the couch for about maybe, I don't know, about an hour. Just downstairs doing my thing. You know what? Sometimes it's all right just to be in the same room with somebody. You ain't got to be arguing or talking or fighting or nothing. You can just be in the same room tonight on some nights. I thank God for being able to just be in the same room. Hallelujah. But just being able to just be in the room is a good thing, and I don't take it for granted. So, but I will say that when we just talk about, and just to go ahead and get on into the show, and as I'm doing this, if anybody wants to come up, I can, definitely open up the line. Like I said, I ain't got nothing to do tonight. So if y'all want to do that, we can. Other than that, I'm going to do my thing and I can get on up out of here and get back to my life. I had to make sure that my dishes is getting washed in the kitchen. For some reason, my child thought that she was going to just go to bed. But that's a whole nother thing to talk about. There's a whole nother movie. But yeah, so just making sure that you guys are definitely I'm definitely trying to drive the numbers up. The numbers are starting to improve more than what they've been like since they took the shadow ban off. So I really appreciate you guys. If y'all can put that that like button in there for me, share it, whatever the case may be, I appreciate it. So let's talk about Juneteenth just a little bit. So we're talking about Juneteenth. That is the day that the slaves were told they were free. Yes, because they had been free, but didn't nobody send an email. Didn't nobody send no mass, wasn't no group chat, didn't nobody say nothing on Instagram once the slaves got free. Didn't nobody put it on Facebook. They didn't put it on Instagram. They didn't put it on Twitter. Abraham Lincoln didn't tweet out that you niggas is free and y'all can go and live amongst the world. So what they did was there was people riding around on horseback, and they were riding around telling people that they was telling niggas they was free. Other people was free already. They had to tell niggas specifically was free. I can remember my grandmother. Yep, I just thought about this. My grandmother, God rest her soul, Mattie Lou Clay, she said, and I quote, I can remember as a little girl, a white man, white man, riding up on a horse and telling my her mother and them at the time that they was free. Or was it my grandmother? I think this is what it was, my great grandmother. Because it was my wait, I don't know. It may have been it was either my grandmother told that story or my grandmother told me that her mother told her that story. So they freed niggas in what? 1978? When did I'm just kidding. What was it? 18? Was it 18? Let's see. Hold on, because I don't want to be wrong, because I know somebody in the chat gonna be like, he was wrong. You said what you said about Juneteenth was wrong, man. But she said, I think that's what she said. Let me just double check, because I can look at the time and see from there what that time frame was. Because yeah, Juneteenth. Let's see. When was blacks freed? I think it's 1865, I think. I think that's what it is. So 1860, something like that. Freed from slavery. That was 1865. I was right. Yeah. All right. So it's 1865. So yes. So that would have been so that would have had to have been my great grandmother. Because 1865, my grandmama wasn't born then. So it had to have been my great grandmother. So yes, so just to make sure I ain't I'm facking and I ain't cracking. Yes. 13th Amendment that was about slavery. So yeah. And so Juneteenth is when Freedom's Eve, right? January 1865, and June 19th, 1865 by the Union Galveston Bay, right? From yeah, there we go. All right, so they was doing that shit everywhere, but here in Texas, they ain't tell niggas, they ain't send no emails out of nothing. But that's what that was. But she said that she can clearly remember when my great grandmother said that she remembered when they came and told her that she was free as a little girl. But yeah, anyway. So with Juneteenth being as a historical, moment in Black folks' lives, and then for it to be made a national holiday, which niggas actually didn't ask for, but hey, Joe Biden, old massa Joe Biden, saw fit to bless us niggas with a national holiday, Juneteenth. And I think that came about in 2020 is when he did it, I believe. Yeah, 2020, 2018, something like that. But anyway, made it a national holiday. Now, with that being said, you would think that most Black folks, especially just now getting a national holiday, that is definitely something relative to pivotal to our existence here in America, as we are approaching our 250th year of being in existence. Shout out to America. With that being said, you would think we would have some real reverence for that holiday, and being able to acknowledge that holiday, and being civilized Black folks, we would be able to really, really, really just enjoy and celebrate with pride, integrity, and just good character. Well, no, we didn't do that. What we did was we opened up a museum in Chicago, and even though the museum opened, a lot of the Black folks that were contractors, a lot of the minority contractors for the Obama Museum, Obama Library, I should say, or as Black folks would say, the Obama Library, they still haven't gotten paid yet, and they're fighting about that. Also, over the whole Juneteenth, they started the weekend with opening of the Barack Obama Library. Now, in conjunction with that, we also had a very active weekend for Juneteenth, to the tune of where 40 people got shot, 8 people were dead. Yeah. And out of those 40 shootings, 40 people being shot and 8 being dead, one of those was actually a mass shooting where 12 people got injured. I think 4 people got killed, something like that, or 3 people got killed. Yeah, but anyway, it was quite active, very violent, and very, very bloody. So yes. And now you would think that with all of that being said and everything that has occurred over this monumentous holiday weekend, that our mayor would, of Chicago, the geography teacher, Brandon Johnson, would be able to come forth and really accept responsibility for what has happened, come with some type of plan that's to keep it from happening. Now, he didn't do that neither. What he did was he found a way to make it Donald Trump's fault. And I don't understand. I've watched this video a few times, and I still don't understand how he did the weave and brought Trump into this weekend and how he's responsible for this going on. They just said, shout out to B News. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He said, dang, I'm trying to finish the Tuesday shit. Hey, man, I'm back, baby. I'm back out here now, Doc. I'm gonna start doing the show, man. Mondays. Definitely be doing the panel show on Tuesdays with Tommy. And then I'm definitely gonna try to do something on Fridays and maybe even Saturdays. So I'm gonna at least try to do 2 a week, Doc. So yeah, man. So you're gonna have plenty of content, good sir. But getting back to what and thanks for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you. But getting back to just what he figured out a way to do that. They also said there was a cross burning. Hear this. There was a cross burning at a park somewhere in the state of Illinois. And J.B. Pritzker found a way to tie this back to Trump and say this is Trump's fault too. I am so tired of these politicians, these Democrat liberal politicians, finding everything that is wrong in this country, anything that goes wrong in this country, anything that they are asked about in this country, they are finding a way to make it Donald Trump's fault or to bring up Donald Trump. Now, I am not saying that should nobody talk about Donald Trump, because I know a lot of you niggas gonna love to say this. He always defending you. He always said, no. I got my things that I don't like about Donald Trump neither. Like, I don't like how he didn't handle this whole Iran thing. I felt he should have stomped their necks and stomped their motherfucking head to the ground, but he didn't do that. I didn't like, I'm just saying, I didn't like, even if you want to even go back, I don't like the way he handled COVID. He should have handled COVID the way that the governor down in Florida handled COVID. He should have took a page out of his book on that. I'm just saying. So there are things that Donald Trump, and the list can go on and on. There are things that I do not like that Donald Trump has done and has said. That whole thing, like I told people before, one of the biggest mistakes he made in that election was that they're eating the cats and dogs. Unless you got a picture of a Haitian roasting Garfield, unless you got a picture of some Nigerian cooking droopy, and they say, yes, I'm going to eat this dog. It is very good. I like to eat the dogs. Unless you got that and they had footage of it, there's no way I would have said that. There's no way. It's just one of those things that even if you're hearing it, you don't need to say it. And being a grown-ass adult, there are things that you should not repeat, especially being in a position that you're in where you can't verify it. Just because I heard it don't mean I need to repeat it. Now, if he would have prefaced that whole thing and said, hey, man, I even heard that they were eating cats and dogs. I don't know how true that is, but they said it. Then you just want to bring it up and just throw that motherfucking grenade and walk away, fine. But you shouldn't say shit like that. So just in all fairness of things, I will consistently and don't mind having a conversation about the things that he's done wrong. But when you talk about the things he's done right, they far outweigh the things that he's done wrong. So in that same vein, I'm gonna say, hey man, as far as the things that he has done and trying to undo a lot of the shit that Biden and crew did in those 4 years, and just trying to get us on the correct path, I think that he's probably going to be arguably the greatest president in my lifetime. Just saying. When it comes to just the overall outcomes of things that's happening and that are going to happen, and the things that he's put in place and over the years that's going to happen, yeah, all of that shit about how he make people feel, I could give zero fucks about. But all of the things that he's done and he's doing and putting in place now, is everything he's doing benefiting black folk? No. But there are things that are presenting opportunities for us and presenting opportunities for just America's period, which I believe that is going to set us up for the future. The fact that he's fucking campaigning and having to spend time campaigning to get men out of competing in women's sports, he shouldn't have to be spending time to do it, but the fact that he does and he's doing it, I appreciate it. And that's just the small thing. The whole thing with the all of that DEI crap and getting that stuff out of the way, I'm all for that. So it's like, I appreciate him for doing that kind of stuff, and hopefully we won't ever have to like experience that again. At least I hope me and my children and my grandchildren won't. But with that being said, those are the things that I've seen that he's done right. But like I said, there are definitely things that have done wrong. But how they can weave that into everyday life, and all of the Democrats are doing it. You ask Hakeem Jeffries something, he gonna find a way to talk about Trump. You ask Brandon Johnson, he gonna find a way to talk about Trump. JB Pritzker, any and every single last one of these Democrats, when they get confronted, pinned up against the wall, backed into a corner, the first thing they say is Trump. And I don't understand why people are okay with that kind of just rhetoric and those types of responses, and just saying, man, come on, man, like, really? But they continue to do it. So with that being said, I want us to break down this. I want to break down this interview or this press conference that Brandon Johnson had, and just go over those things and just see exactly what he's not saying. And he's really starting to be reminiscent of the whole, he's not as bad as Kamala Harris. I'll give him credit for that in all fairness. But he's really like word salad, Kamala Harris like, if you will, with his responses. He just never calls a thing a thing. and he will just find a way to not answer the question and to talk about stuff that really doesn't matter pertaining to the question, and I'll just say, well, that's my answer. It's like you ask me a question and say, hey man, so how do you feel about, you know, this current administration and the things that they've done and are currently doing? And I say, well, when you move rook to e4 and then you take the red checkerboard and move, it's like that has nothing to do with. I just say, well, that's my answer. You don't like it, I get it. Like, no, that's not answering the question. So it's like, man, he said Lori Lightfoot was better than him. I said it, man. You said it. I said it. He talking about I said it. I said it. Most people that even had half of a brain. When I researched this dude and found out that he was nothing more but a geography teacher, man, I knew it was gonna be nonsense. And then he was like, just with all the things he started saying he was gonna do, it's like it's asinine. But this is what happens. And I'm gonna say this. I will say this. I do not feel sorry for niggas in Chicago. I feel sorry for the city because I love the city. I love my city. I still do. Still love my city. I don't feel sorry for none of you niggas. Everything y'all getting, these high ass property taxes, all of the fucking crime and all that, man, y'all deserve all this shit. He's just like the Dark Knight. He's not the villain he's the villain y'all deserve. He's not the villain y'all need. He's the villain y'all deserve right now. Y'all voted for this because he was a black dude with a fucking mohawk and y'all voted his ass in. And the fact that y'all was dumb enough to do that, this is exactly what you get. So make no mistake, I'm not doing nothing but being and I told you so nigga as of right now. That's what until he gone, I'm definitely coming from that perspective of told you so. There was no way they should have voted this dude in. Nobody knew him. Nobody in the community knew him. This nigga was a teacher, literally. A teacher. And y'all put this dude in charge of the third largest city in the fucking country with a fucking $1 billion goddamn budget. And look at what he did. He squandered away all of the money, put us into debt, and he then ran the goddamn bears out of the city. This what y'all get. I swear for God. Him and that JB Pritzker. Y'all gonna learn to stop listening to these fucking preachers and telling y'all who to vote for. Y'all gonna learn to stop just voting for somebody because they black. Y'all gonna learn to stop voting for some cool, slick talking ass motherfucking white boy or nigga. Y'all gonna learn because this is the kind of shit that happens when y'all do. Y'all voted for a woman because y'all just felt it's time for a woman to get in charge. Right. You saw what Lori Lightfoot did. Turn right back around. We gonna put a brother in charge like Hale Washington. Yeah. Yep. You see what he did. At the end of the day, y'all gotta stop voting from what looks good. Y'all wanted to get a brother in there. The best brother that was running was Willie Wilson. He's a fucking businessman. He's from the city, grew up in the city, got love for the city, and is an accomplished businessman. Why would you not want him to run the business of your city? Oh, I know why. Because he got a speech impediment. He got a speech impediment. So because of that, he ain't cool. Well, you know who else had a speech impediment? Fucking Mike Tyson. He became the heavyweight champion of the world. It's ludicrous. Spinal. It broke my back. It's like that kind of shit is what does black folks in, not just in this situation, but period. Y'all don't want to research. Y'all don't want to look nothing up. Y'all don't want to actually look at the facts. Y'all want to go on y'all feelings and what looks cool, and that's it, to your own detriment. And if y'all keep fucking around, y'all motherfuckers gonna be there, and Chicago gonna be broke, and it's gonna be like fucking Gary, Indiana. Keep on. Keep on. Y'all keep on. Y'all gonna be the same motherfucking way. Whatever happened to Gary? What happened to Chicago Heights? What happened to Riverdale? What happened to Harvey? Niggas, that's what happened. Y'all vote these niggas in, and these niggas don't do nothing but enrich themselves and take advantage of y'all. This motherfucker just had a weekend where there were 40 people shot, 8 people dead, And this motherfucker here by himself has 150 of Chicago's finest police officers watching his ass. Meanwhile, y'all niggas is dying and getting shot in the streets. And y'all okay with that? 150 motherfucking police officers. Mind you, the police department, I believe, it has a 2,000 officer deficit from what their minimal requirement should be, operating procedures where they should be at, minimal. They 2,000 officers below that. Same motherfucker talking about we gonna defund the police and all that. Yep, he defunded the police. Y'all doing all this. Meanwhile, he got 150 police around him talking about they don't need the police. The police are we don't need them. Well, why do you need them? You would think he would be showing you leading by example, right? Nope. Rules for thee and not for me. That's the whole Democratic thing. They'll tell y'all what the fuck y'all should be doing. They'll tell y'all what they want you to do and all that shit. Meanwhile, they doing what the fuck they want to do while they hold you to some shit that they won't even hold themselves to. Insane. But that's their playbook. And I'm not even tripping on them so much because it's been their playbook. And y'all keep going along with it. Because y'all worried about Trump and he racist. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Let's go ahead and let's bring this dude. Let's go ahead and talk about this and get this going. Unbelievable. All right. Here we go.
And community during Juneteenth, it was disrupted by heartbreaking acts of gun violence.
Heartbreaking.
My thoughts and prayers remain with the victims, their loved ones, and all those who have been impacted by violence. I'm grateful to the Chicago Police Department, our firefighters, emergency medical personnel, OEMC, hospital staff, CVI workers, and all of the first responders who worked swiftly to protect.
Hey, y'all let me know if y'all can hear this okay too.
Affected. To support our communities, an emergency assistance center led by CPD will open tomorrow evening.
He said the guns were shooting themselves.
Offering resources and services to victims, survivors, witnesses, family members, and of course, community members impacted by the recent violence. Community violence intervention workers remain on the ground providing support.
What the fuck is that? Community violence intervention workers. What are these people doing? My man Calvin said, did a white person for Johnson, or did the white people for Johnson, you think more than black people, or vote for Johnson? I think that's what you're trying to say. More than black people? Probably, but the fact of the matter is, it's so many black folks in Chicago that they could literally swing that vote one way or the other. They could swing it. If they all got their shit together, they could swing it and get the mayor in there that they want. But this is the mayor that they wanted. Here's what it is. The white folks that voted for this dude and the white folks that stood this dude up, they with the same bullshit that he's on. It's that whole liberal agenda, bro. That's all they're doing. Has nothing, and that's the biggest thing about this. This has nothing to do with the city. This has nothing to do with getting the city on track. This is all about them and their agenda and what they want to do. As far as that liberal agenda and how that's getting carried out is all that they're concerned about. They're not trying to say, hey, we got to fix this, or hey, we want to do this. They're just talking that same, this is community policing and we're going to abolish the police and defund. Like, they more concerned about getting these illegal aliens that then came over here through Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's administration. They more concerned about getting them to have licenses and ID so that they can continue to support that agenda. That's what they're more concerned about than anything else. That's just what that is. But
and the city's crisis assistance response and engagement program, or CARE, remains available to residents in need of mental health and trauma-informed services. Residents can also call 211 to be connected to additional support and resources. And even in moments of tragedy, we are reminded of the strength of our communities and the importance of showing up for one another. But we also...
I'm going to answer this because it's a good question. Laurice Wagner says, do you think white people consider any color as a vote? Do I think they consider any color as a vote? I'm not sure what that means. Or are you saying, do they consider color when they vote? I'd like for you to make sure I got this right. But if that's what I think you're saying, I think everybody considers color. That whole nonsense and bullshit, I don't see color, bullshit. I think that everybody sees color. However, I think that when it comes to who white folks vote for, I think they do one thing that we don't do. They don't vote their interests. We don't vote our interests. Because you can't tell me that somebody you don't know jack shit about is in your interest. Why would you vote for someone that you don't know anything about when you have another candidate that is a businessman that you do know about? Because everybody in Chicago know who the fuck Willie Wilson is, especially niggas. They know more about Willie Wilson than they did about fucking Brandon Johnson. So why am I gonna vote for some fucking black dude that's a teacher, a geography teacher at that? He's not a fucking, like, he's not even a fucking mathematician or no shit like that. He's not a fucking physics teacher. He's not even on the higher end of higher learning. I would give him more credit if that, because I would say at least this motherfucker know numbers. No, he's a fucking geography teacher, and they voted for him because that in no shape, form, or fashion qualifies him at all. He was a geography teacher, and he fucked around with the unions and all that shit. So it's not necessarily about color, and I think people do see color, but it's about what is this person doing and who else is available. Vote for the best candidate that serves your interests is all I'm saying. Because I think white folks do that.
Also know that our work cannot end once the headlines fade. Gun violence has afflicted communities across Chicago for far too long, leaving behind grief, trauma, and empty seats at family tables in neighborhoods throughout our city. While cities across the country continue to face this challenge, we know that our communities deserve safety, opportunity, and the resources that are needed to thrive. Even as Trump's cuts and federal funding uncertainty threatens violence reduction efforts.
How is it that, what the fuck does Trump cuts have to do with you being the mayor of the city and running the city, making the city safe? How does Trump cuts affect that? I would love to know. Because at the end of the day, if Trump cut whatever the fuck he cut, you still got 150 police officers. Them Trump cuts didn't affect that. Watching your ass. And see, this is the thing that people don't realize about Chicago. Let me say this, because a lot of people don't know, because you ain't lived there, which makes sense. You wouldn't know. When you look at the city on a weekend, that's when shit really gets thick. Holiday weekend more so, and especially if the weather's nice, like when this 4th of July roll around. When you have the city like this, you could literally oversaturate the high crime areas, and they would nip shit in the bud. This dude ain't even smart enough to do that. Well, it is not that he's not smart enough. He don't give a fuck, because they could do that. Trump has offered the use of the fucking National Guard. What other resource do you need, bro? Just think if Trump said, hey man, I could send you 2,000 National Guards right now. 1,000. Hell, 500. Imagine if you could put 100 National Guard in every hot zone, high crime area in your city for a holiday weekend. Wouldn't shit happen? But he don't give a fuck about that. So that's why he's doing what he's doing. He won't even take the help. Not the fact that the people are going to benefit. He's not concerned about that. He's concerned about the optics, because the last thing you know what he wants to have happen is for Donald Trump to send some troops to the city and the city actually becomes safe, like he did in DC, like he did in Memphis. He don't want to do that because he knows then it's going to prove him right, and he's going to be the one that looks like the asshole because it's been going on for years. And I'm going to charge the same fact that he tried to do it back in 2016. He tried to do, the fact that Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, the fact that Barack Obama and Joe Biden let that shit go on for those 8 years and they didn't do nothing about it. It took Donald Trump to offer y'all help. Why? Why would it take him to offer y'all some help? I'm sorry, that's not 8 years, that's 12. 2 terms with Obama and 1 term with Biden. And Biden was the president for all 12 of them years, was the vice president. So he was in the administration all 12. Why wouldn't you do that? You know why? Because this is not about politics per se. Well, it's a lot of moving parts to getting that done. No, it's not about that. It's about optics. I'll be damned if I let this white man show me up. That's what it's about. I'll be damned if I let this white man get some shine. And y'all know I've been talking about this shit well over 10 years. I've been talking about this well over 10 years. These mass shootings, these high crime, 80 people shot over the weekend. I've covered all them shits. I've covered it all. And you clearly seen that the only president to actually do something. I even pointed out how even if you don't want to send a National Guard in, you have, as the president, you have the power to establish a specific FBI task force to go in and assist these cities. They won't do it. Yes, Obama is from Chicago. That's all I'm saying. So when you think about all of the opportunity on what it takes to make the city safe, they have bypassed on it and have let people die. Which is why I can't stand these motherfuckers. Because y'all would rather let people die than to do the right thing. Eat a little crow and go ahead and do what's best for the people. And you know why? Because you don't really love the city. You just love yourself. While your wife's spending $70,000 on desk, that's what you're concerned about, as opposed to the safety of the people that look like me and you that are dying every day, every weekend, every holiday weekend, getting shot. But you making this bullshit ass speech, the empty tables at the empty dinner tables and the empty seats in the community and the churches are bullshit. You don't give a fuck. He's literally just reading this. And to me, it's almost as if he's kind of like almost like a sociopath, because he really don't give a fuck. And he's reading this as if he's sympathetic and he really doesn't give a shit. I would not be able to sleep at night as a man, knowing that there are people in my city that voted for me to keep them safe and to run the city. I could not sleep at night knowing that I got 150 of Chicago's finest police officers watching my ass while people in the streets are fucking dying at night. I couldn't do it. There's no way my conscience and who I am as a person, as a man, black man, human being, Christian, whatever you want to call it, there's no way I could live with that. And the fact that he can lets me know what type of person this motherfucker really is. He's at a whole nother level of selfishness, a whole different level of self-centeredness that people just don't want to acknowledge. This is fucking horrendous.
Nationwide, my administration continues to strengthen investments in violence reduction, youth opportunities, and community-based interventions that ultimately make neighborhoods safer.
Hey, Tonia, if DC ain't safe, because I have not been there, it's better than what it was. All that it was getting there is better than what it was. That's all I'm saying. So if you live there and you get more insight on it than I do, great. But I don't see all these motherfuckers all the shit that was going on there before. I don't hear it to that magnitude like it is now. So you got to credit the man with something. That it was getting there already. Yeah, okay. It wasn't there already. I'm sitting here and I put a fan in, you got a fan in your living room, and you talking about, yeah, it is getting a little cooler, and I come and bring a motherfucking AC and cut that AC on. Say what you want. Fan could have been helping, but it ain't the AC. Just saying.
Part of our efforts also include supporting the call for a permanent department dedicated to gun violence reduction, ensuring these efforts remain coordinated, accountable, and sustained for the long term. Because building safer communities requires the full force of government and a commitment
Obama
to
is
addressing
not
the
from
root
Kenya.
causes of violence. And one of the most important investments that we can make.
You know what? I'm so tired of people doing this type of shit. This is the kind of stuff that people literally are wasting their time on. People have been trying to make this person not a citizen for fucking decades. I don't understand why. Just like how people always talk about Michelle Obama's a man. Why do you give a fuck? I do not sleep with Michelle Obama. If Michelle Obama got a 12-inch penis, it is of no consequence to me. I don't care. If that's what Barack Obama likes to the point to where he married him or her, why can't y'all let this man live? It's like we try to make big things out of little things for no fucking reason. It's like, you know good and goddamn well the man ain't born from Kenya. How the fuck would he have a birth certificate and all that shit? You can't do that. There's no point in doing it. Unless, and it's like, to what end? His father's from Kenya. What does that have to do with him? Why would we want to make it to where he's from Kenya? That shit is crazy to me how people do that. Leave this man nationality alone. He's a fucking American. More so than most people, I would even go that far to say. The man went to fucking Harvard and became a fucking constitution lawyer. Like, what are y'all talking about, man? Shit is crazy. Leave that man's wife alone. If Michelle was a man, if Michelle is a man, if Michelle was a woman, and Michelle is a woman, I don't give two shits. It don't matter to me. Where Obama places his penis is of no consequence to me. I don't care who that man is sleeping with. It's like people try to make a thing out of that. Like, if she is a man, why do y'all care? She's presenting as a woman and has carried herself as a woman all this time. If the kids are fake and they was by somebody else, why do you care? What that man's family life is like has no impact on my life. That shit is wild as hell that people go into that and try to drive down that street and be like, yeah, they were doing this, they were doing that, they were doing this. Just like Candace Owens talking about that white woman that was a man. It's like, okay, what difference does it make? What is that man or that woman, what does their gender and who they're sleeping with, what does that have to do with you or us? It has nothing to do with them. That's why I don't have a problem with gay people. The only problem I have with gay people or trans people is when you try to make me get on y'all program. I don't care. You can walk around in a dress. You can walk around with whatever, as long as you ain't fucking with no kids or influencing no kids. And that's what you want to do, by all means. Have at it, my man, my woman, whatever. Have at it. I wish that we as a world, as a country, could get to that place. Hey, man, what you do in the bedroom don't have shit to do with how I got to address you. Who you sleep with should have nothing to do with how I speak and the words that I choose to use. The fact that you are dressing like a woman don't mean that I'm going to call you a woman. A ma'am, madam, miss, ms. No. And you shouldn't care either. Being that ma'am, man, or miss, or mister is what it is. Let's get back to it, though.
Is in our young people. Right now, more than 25,000 young people have started summer jobs through the Chicago Youth Works program. When we invest in our youth, we invest in safer communities, stronger neighborhoods, and a brighter future for Chicago. And that is why I also want to recognize that this week, Chicago Workers' Rights Week, we're celebrating it. We're celebrating the hardworking people who keep our city moving forward, and they do it every single day. Whether you're working an overnight shift, serving customers, preparing meals, stocking shelves, or delivering goods across our
Chicago
city,
Workers Week.
your work matters. Every day, Chicagoans show up for one another. And through our work, and through your work, you help feed families, support neighbors, and you keep our communities running. You create opportunities for future generations. And that is the power of working people. And that is why we are proud to celebrate Chicago Workers' Rights Week.
Workers'
But
Rights
as we
Week.
all know, Chicago, like communities across the country, continues to face an affordability crisis. Too many working families are spending too much of their time and energy simply trying to make the ends meet. The rising cost of housing, groceries, childcare, and other everyday necessities.
Yeah, like the property taxes you increase. And see, those are things that he won't bring up. It's like this. And I'm going to acknowledge what you're talking about, Kazuma. Didn't they take down the shot spotter system that was used to map out all of the rampant shootings? So what shot spotter was, it's basically a system that alerts the police when it hears gunshots. Had it all throughout the city, and they took it down. Have no clue as to why. No clue. But yet and still, with all of these shooting, and all it does, because when you have things like that happen with shot spotter, it's like that's when seconds matter. So you got somebody shooting on 119th and Halsted. Shot spotter would then let the 911 dispatch know, hey, shots fired. Now, what that then does is that allows dispatch, before they even receive the 911 call, to actually start having officers en route to that area. Not that it's going to catch the people right then and there still shooting, potentially could, but they're dispatching units to that area to help with whatever is going on with shots being fired in that area. So definitely one of those things to where, hey, as you get in those 911 calls, you're now already got officers on the way responding. You're already en route, and now you could be looking for the suspects of that committed that crime, that were shooting. That is what that does, and it definitely helps. That was something that what was his name? Terry. Dang it, he used to work with my dad. Wow, I forgot the old superintendent name, the black dude. Terry something. I can't remember his last name. But yes, that was something that he put in, and it definitely helped. But be that as it may, they did turn that off.
It's made it harder for many of our residents to get ahead, and even when they are working every single day, and in some cases, multiple jobs.
Yep.
Supporting working people is not just something we talk about during work.
Prove it, Wagner, Laurice.
It is a commitment.
I'd love for you to prove
our
it.
Work every day throughout the year. 2 years ago.
Because I imagine what you're saying is that Barack Obama is not an American. Barack Obama is from Kenya. I would love to see you prove it. Please. Please prove it, because you would be the first person to prove how a man who is not from this country has become president of the United States. Let's see the proof, sir. I would love to see it. I await your evidence.
My administration established Chicago Workers' Rights Week to recognize the contributions of working people across the city and reaffirm our commitment to ensuring that every single Chicagoan has the opportunity to thrive. We also committed to raising standards for workers and making sure that our economy works for the people whose labor makes this city run. And since taking office, our administration has increased Chicago's minimum wage each year, helping workers keep pace with rising costs and ensuring that more families can share in the city's prosperity. On July 1st, Chicago's minimum wage will increase to $17.05 per hour. That means more money in the pockets of working people and more support for families working hard to keep up with the rising costs. And it's also why we fought to give Chicago workers access to up to 5 days of paid leave and 5 days of paid sick leave. No one should have to.
Hey, Simply Deep, you can email me, and if you want, we can do. I will do a show for that anytime. If you got questions, I would absolutely do a show. So if you want to email me some questions, I can put together a show, and either with or without you, I can either do, depending on how many there are and the topic, I can either do a live show or I can do an actual recording, and I'll respond to whatever questions that you have. So go ahead and just email me, and we can get that done. That's no problem. I love doing that. That's my pleasure. So yeah, just shoot me an email, and we can get that resolved and get that figured out. No problem.
Choose between earning a paycheck and caring for themselves or their loved ones. And no one should have to worry about losing income when they're struggling with their health. We know there is still more work to do. Working families are the foundation of our city, and they deserve fair pay, meaningful protections, and the opportunity to build a stable future for themselves and their loved ones. We will continue fighting for working people and building a stronger, safer, more affordable Chicago for everyone. As we celebrate the hardworking Chicagoans who help build our city every single day, we must also remember those whose labor helped lay the foundation for the city that we do have today. Workers' Rights Week is an opportunity to honor the generations of.
He said, born in Indonesia, traveled to Kenya. Obama isn't black or white. Hey, man, where's the evidence? I got an email address. I need the evidence of that.
An important conversation about our history, our responsibility, and the work that's still ahead. Building on our commitment to protecting working people and advancing equity across our city, I want to turn to another important part of this work. 2 years ago, I signed an executive order establishing a task force to shine a light on the harm that slavery and racist policies have caused and continue to cause, and particularly the harm that they've caused to Black Chicagoans, while more importantly, identifying pathways towards repair, opportunity, and investment. Today marks the second day of Chicago's public reparations hearings. For the first time, Chicago was formally listening to and documenting the lived experiences of Black Chicagoans, while also acknowledging how policies like redlining, disinvestment, and segregation have shaped lives and communities across generations. The testimony shared here will help inform.
So, and all of this shit that went on over the weekend, this is what he's talking about. Chicago Workers Week, reparations, and okay.
The city's reparations study of harm, deepening our understanding of how those harms continue to be felt today and what it will take to begin repairing. This work is about telling the truth, honoring the lived experiences, and building a more just Chicago for the future of our city. So thank you all again. And with that, I'm happy to answer all of the questions.
Like anybody give a shit about that.
One question, one follow-up.
Like nobody gave a shit about that. Like Calvin said, what about the judges who let out the criminals that the police arrest, especially the crimes that involve guns? They judge have been held the judge have to be held accountable to. It's the whole judicial system. So you got to remember too, the prosecuting attorney and the cases that they bring before the judges who are elected officials that we put into office that are not tough on crime and that are letting motherfuckers out. That is what it is. But when you come up with shit like no bail, no bond. So it's like if I can come and get accused of shooting 5 motherfuckers and automatically get no bail. Hey man, not no bail, but there is no bond to where I'm getting held in court and I ain't got to post bond for it. Hey man, what else you want me to do? They putting them back out, giving them slaps on the wrist and letting them go back out to commit more crime. That's just what the name of the game is. And yes, they do need to be held accountable, but prosecuting attorney, they play a huge part in that too. Definitely, because they determine who gets prosecuted and who doesn't. And there are plenty of cases that we don't know about that literally where charges get dropped because the prosecuting attorney just ain't gonna prosecute those crimes. Not gonna prosecute, let them motherfucker go. So it is what it is. You claim his roots until they are brought up. I understand that what you're saying, but all you saying is talking. Just as much as you're saying he isn't a citizen, I'm saying that he is, and I got more proof on my side because he was the president, he was a senator. Like, what else do you want me to do? I don't have any evidence that says that he's not a citizen. So why would I then turn around and say that he's not? That's the only question I'm posing to you, because everything that you telling me is hearsay, some shit you done heard from another motherfucker. You don't have the evidence. Do you realize that out of all of this time that he has been in the spotlight of politics, if there was even this much of a chance of him not being a citizen, that somebody who don't like him, fuck all the people that's just gonna follow the rules, but the people that don't like him would have brought that shit to light, would have spent the money, private investigator, whatever it costs to prove that point of him not being a citizen. That would have kept him from being a senator. It would have also kept him from running for president. You do realize that, right? So what you saying is just what you done heard from somebody else. You don't have the evidence. And there's more evidence that says that he is a citizen of the United States than he isn't. That's all I'm saying. And if you can't prove it one way or the other, all I'm saying is, what's the point? What would be the point to this? Those are the things that I don't like, that conservatives, Republicans get into and go down these rabbit holes for no reason, because there is no point to it. None whatsoever. But y'all still want to talk about and harp on this stuff. And I don't understand why that is. It is literally a moot point. There is nothing that can occur from this because you don't have any fucking proof. You're just talking. That shit is crazy as hell to me. Like, why would you obsess over something like that or make those statements and say that somebody isn't something that you can't prove? Hell, at least Candace Owens was able to provide substantial evidence with the motherfucker she was talking about, with that Marcone chick. She was at least able to provide a lot of damning evidence to say that that dude was a dude. But it's like we keep saying the same thing and we don't have no evidence. We just keep saying, like, yeah, this person is that. Well, can you prove it? Well, if you look up, can you prove it? I don't want to read what some other blogger done wrote. I don't want to read what somebody else. Do you have evidence to prove what it is you're saying? Well, no, then let's move on. That's all I'm saying.
This way. Thanks.
How you doing, Mayor Johnson?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Talk a little bit more about what I think I just heard you say, which was your endorsement of a Department of Gun Violence Protection. How would that work? Who would be running
that's a good
that?
question. I wish you'd have this kind of vitriol about Trump and the Epstein files. What kind of vitriol would I need to have? And I love when people bring up these Epstein files, because all I got to say is y'all saying who's in the Epstein files, and I'm gonna let you have that. All I'm saying is, what does that mean, being in the Epstein files? I don't understand that. If whoever is in the Epstein files, do y'all know? And I love when people bring this up, because this just goes to show you how niggas would just repeat shit, and how these liberals would just repeat shit just for the sake of repeating it. You say these people that are in the Epstein files, because they didn't say Clinton in the Epstein files, they didn't say Trump is in the Epstein files, which they proven that all he was doing was mentioned in a fucking email, but whatever. They said all of these people that are in the Epstein files. Do y'all realize that everybody that's been mentioned in the Epstein files, that there is literally no evidence to show these people that have been that have been acknowledged to being in the Epstein files? There is no incriminating evidence, which would be, because what everybody's pointing this back to is that these people that are in the Epstein files are people that have slept with underage girls. Great. I'm hearing you 1000%. Where is the footage of anybody being with an underage girl that we can identify? Have you seen it? And the answer is a resounding fuck no. But y'all think just because somebody is in the files that they are guilty. You can't be charged and be guilty of a crime without evidence. Y'all do understand this, right? But y'all just like to talk and y'all just like to make shit up and hope that because somebody said you was there, that you did it. If I walked into a crack house, does that make me a crackhead? But you was in there though. Does it make me a crackhead? Does it make me a crack smoker? Does it make me a crack cooker? Does it make me a crack seller? Does it make me a crack dealer? No, to all 5 of those. So why would the same things not apply to the people that y'all are saying in the Epstein files? Now, if you got some footage of this man, said man, whatever man, being with an underage girl, then let's prosecute that motherfucker to the fullest extent of the law. Until then, all you're doing is talking, and that is what's called hearsay. Because just because I was on the plane, just because I went to the island, you can't prove that I slept with an underage girl. So what are we talking about? Just because I was there doesn't mean that I committed a crime. Well, you tell me when showing up someplace where a crime was committed makes you guilty. You tell me how that works. And we talk about niggas who love to swear by. Yeah, but they ain't got the evidence to say that though. Y'all love to do it when it's on y'all. But when it's on somebody else, all y'all want to do is just hear some shit and y'all can say, yeah, he guilty, man. He a pedophile. He a pedophile. So y'all mean to tell me that this man, these men that were at Epstein Island and that are in the Epstein files, y'all said a pedophile. So that means that's prepubescent, that they were sleeping with little children, 5, 6, 7, 8, prepubescent. They were sleeping with children that had yet not gone through puberty. That have not yet gone through puberty. That's what you're telling me. But you don't have no evidence of it. You just hearing that a motherfucker's in the files. Yeah, I was in the dope house. That don't mean I was selling dope, smoking dope, shooting dope, cooking dope. It don't mean that. How many people have been in a raid of a drug house and then went to jail and served 30 years? Yeah, what happened? I was in that dope house and they locked me up. You got locked up, but what did they charge you with? Well, you know, I was there, so they charged me like I was the kingpin. That shit don't happen. But y'all saying it here. Why? I have no clue. Just saying. You ain't got no evidence. Do y'all not realize that if these motherfuckers had any evidence of Donald Trump being with an underage girl, don't y'all know that shit would have came out? They found a bitch from the 70s that said he raped me in a closet with no evidence. They found a bitch back then who lied and said that this motherfucker did this. You don't think that they would have actual footage of this man doing something like that and not release it? Stop playing with me. They tried to kill the man. Come on now. And I'm just talking about the facts. I ain't making shit up. So the vitriol that you looking for, how do you have vitriol? Epstein is dead. How do you have vitriol? And you don't even know what the fuck you got vitriol about. You ain't seen the Epstein files. You ain't seen Trump doing something wrong in the Epstein files. The man actually, there's more evidence showing that Donald Trump didn't like the motherfucking white boy. There's more evidence of showing how he fucking distanced himself from that motherfucker years before anybody else would have, when it wasn't popular. He banned the motherfucker from his resort in Mar-a-Lago. But that don't mean nothing. He was there, dog. No, he was there, man. It's like y'all motherfucking niggas kill me with that stupid shit. You make shit up and then want everybody else to believe it, and you get mad when they don't have vitriol for this man. Why? Because I ain't seen him do no fuck shit? Stop playing with me.
That department, would it be your deputy mayor for community safety? Talk more about that.
Well, first of all, again, I want to acknowledge, again, the incredible harm and trauma that gun violence has promulgated, not just throughout the city of Chicago, but throughout our country. It is incredibly disappointing and disheartening that the President of the United States of America has worked overtime to defund the very institutions that can keep people safe from.
What are the and here's what I'm asking. What are the institutions that the federal government need to be funding with our tax dollars that the city can't fund, and that the city didn't fund, and that the city couldn't fund now if they wanted to, because they were sending all of that $1.2 billion to migrants? Why would you take the money that you could use to fund all of the programs to keep the city safe and then put that towards migrants, but let the funding that was for the people to keep people safe go unfunded, and then the people get killed and people die, and you got migrants that you're taking care of better than the citizens that live there? Can somebody explain that to me? Where's the vitriol for that? Just saying. I'm just saying, where is the vitriol for that? Why would you be funding illegal aliens and not fund the programs that keep the city safe?
$800 million that he has taken away from violence prevention.
And you had 1.2 billion. So you actually had 800 million that you could have put towards that. And then you could have took the other 400,000 from the 1.2 billion you fucked off with, and you still could have had money left over. 400 million plus 800 million is 1.2 billion. You could have took that money and funded all the shit you just talked about and just said, and still had 400 million left over. But you said, no, we're going to give this to the migrants and to all of the motherfuckers. And here's the thing. He put money in migrants' hands, and he's also putting money in his folks' hands that get over from bringing the services to the migrants. Yeah, all right.
$800 million that he placed in the pockets of big corporations and the ultra-rich at the expense of our overall safety. Again, reducing the ATF budget by 30%, the entity of government that we work with at the federal level to remove illegal weapons off the streets of Chicago. And we know that.
How can you guarantee that? He says, I'm mad. Did I skip college? Well, why would I be mad? I don't know what you're saying as far as I'm mad. I don't know what I'm mad about. Because I didn't agree with you and say that he's from Kenya and you can't even prove it. Why can't you just do that? At the present time, he's got the lowest mayor rating ever. He does, dude. He's terrible. Workers' right, we got exactly. Knowing what the people are here for. You know why these people are here and what they want to talk about. What's up is Wilbert. I don't know what that means. Brian, these judges continue to let repeat offenders play. Yep, you're right. Then Laurice, you're trying to get kicked out. I don't know what Laurice's problem is. It's like, why would I be mad? I don't see where I've gotten mad. I just called him out on this shit like you making accusations. Why would you make an accusation that you can't prove? I don't understand that part. Like, what is that about? Why would we waste time with that when we can't prove it? Of the police dog by the officer, I think it was in Atlanta. Send that to me, Malek. Send that to me and I can take a look at it. Brian, if you was the mayor, what would you know? What would you know if you asked Trump for help? You party will not support you. That's the thing, though. It's like at this point, he knows he's not going to get reelected. That shit is done. He's not getting reelected. Why not do what's best for the city and what's best for the people? Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that it don't matter one way or the other. Why let it burn when you could at least stop it from burning and just let what's left still be there? That's crazy. If I was the fucking mayor of Chicago, I could fix that shit I could fix the city major problems within the first 2 years. He is not even addressing the shooting. Right. He talking about what Trump did. He automatically defaulted to Trump because that's all they do. You ask somebody, this man right here is in total control of the city. He runs the city of Chicago. Trump don't run it. Pritzker don't run it. Everything that goes on in the city is his call. He opened up all of those old schools that have been closed, Chicago public schools that have been closed, the park districts that were closed. He opened all of those up for migrants. Nobody had a fucking thing that they could say or do about it. He allowed all of those migrants to go into the black communities in these cities and take over these fucking cities, pitching tent. I mean, take over these areas in the city where motherfuckers had tent cities up in the fucking neighborhoods. He did that. He allowed that. So it's like he's the one that he brought in his own staff. He got all these black women working for him. He got all these black folks working here, and they ain't getting shit done. They just getting paid. Talking about we doing the work. Y'all ain't doing shit. Not with 40 people shot, 8 dead. Stop it. Like Island Coppin. Because you niggas is only down for the profit. That's all y'all doing. Said crack corn, don't care. Jimmy crack corn. 97% conviction rate across the country. Every plead guilty just to get out of jail. It's all time served sentence, suspended sentence. See, I don't even know about that, so that could be true. Unless useless spineless mayor, nobody with common sense or conscience respects the guy. Yeah, exactly. The shit that he's done, it's unprecedented, bro. When there's no distinction between guilty and innocent, nobody actually goes to prison. The sooner you plead, the sooner you get released. There it is. A person not born in the U.S. can hold office of Senate, House of Representatives, but not the president. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. So if this dude, out of all of that time that this dude has been in office, you mean to tell me nobody could prove this? Man, stop. Stop. Whatever. Brian, you are the first brother I've heard say moot point. I think I spelled it wrong, but just want to get in a conversation to say the word too for some reason now. You wild as hell. Yeah, buddy. That's one of the words I learned from you know who used to say that? Tommy used to say that. And he used it correctly. And it's like he's one of the people that I've actually heard like say the word and say it correctly and correct people when they didn't say it correctly. So I took lead on that. I took his lead on that and made sure that I always use it and pronounced it the correct way. Because you can still mean it and use it in the right context, but if you pronounce it wrong, then that's a problem too. He's the guy that Tommy was the man when it came to just words matter. I love him for it because they do. Words matter. And it's like, that's how you get to a point to where, just like in his stream that we was just watching over on Rumble, y'all go support my brother, Tommy Sotomayor on Rumble. And when he's doing the show, when you don't let words matter and you just say something and hope that people know what you're saying, then that's when shit starts to get convoluted. And that's when your ideas start to not make sense. Because the more you do it, the more stupid it becomes. And you can't make points when you do that. So it's like, that's one of the biggest things that I've learned from him is that know what you're saying and why you're saying it, absolutely always. But how you say it matters. Using the correct words, the correct verbiage, that shit matters. And black folks have a problem with that. They just do. They just do. That's all I'm saying. So it's like, that's one of the things I love my brother for that, and just teaching that and standing on that. It's like, that shit means something, bro. And we should all be cognizant of that. He also came up with, look it up, nigga. That when you don't know a word, I'll be the first one to ask, hey, what does that word mean? I never heard that word before. It matters. And it helps you to be able to communicate better and to relate better with each other when you can actually know what somebody is saying and know the words that they're saying and why they're using it, and the person who's saying it and using the words are doing it correctly. So being in the Epstein files could be as little as being mentioned by Epstein. Yes. And the FBI has said that. That's why they said all of those things about the files. And yeah, we got a lot of stuff in the files, but incriminating evidence? Where? Where? How? If I don't have that, all we doing is talking. Epstein could literally have put in an email. He could have just said on a recording your name, and you are at that point technically in the files. He could have sent an email inviting you to the island. Whether you win or not wouldn't matter. You're in the files. He could have sent an email to you saying, hey, man, good seeing you over in Las Vegas, man, last week, man. It was good. Hope I get to see you again soon. Or have you come out and hang out. You in the files. Ain't did shit, ain't went nowhere, ain't did. You in the files now. So what does that mean? That you a pedophile? Pedophile sent you an email and put your name in it. Pedophile was doing recording. Somebody asked, like, hey, do you know this guy? Oh, yeah, I met Brian. I met Brian a couple times in California. Now I'm in the file, so now I'm a pedophile and I got to go to jail. How? But that's what motherfuckers have done with this shit. Mind you, the whole thing about how niggas are saying now, man, they covering all that shit up to protect Trump. Mind you, the Epstein files came to light when fucking Biden and them had the shits too. And they didn't do a goddamn thing with it. And you know why? Because the majority of the people that have done anything incriminating in the Epstein files, they're all fucking liberal Democrats. And they don't want to pull that thread because it's going to unravel a bunch of shit. Bill Clinton, Bill Gates. Why go there? These old ass men, what are you going to do to them? What are you going to do to them? If you try to charge Bill Gates right now, Bill Gates got enough money to where by the time you even get done with the case, by the time you even think you're going to get him convicted, he'll be dead and gone. So why? Why are we doing this? Same thing with Bill Clinton. Why are we doing this? And that's just what it is. As unfortunate as the situation that occurred is, and as unfortunate as it happened, hey, man, I get it. But the juice ain't even close to being worth the squeeze, which is why they ain't fucking with it. But anyway, Jeffrey had old holes on an island too. Yes, people, but everybody just reaching for stuff. That's all I'm saying. It ain't like this was just an island of children that this motherfucker was running. But that's the way they want to paint it. They want to make it like that. And like, man, get out of here with that shit, man. Come on, dude. That don't even make sense. What about the prince from Monaco? I don't know nothing about that. Calvin, you gotta educate me on that. Since the Epstein files is bad as people claim, there are sitting people in Congress. Yep, that's a fact. And the Senate that have done the same thing, pay money and pay off. Let's take it a step further, Lock G. Let's talk about how the people that are sitting in Congress and in the Senate that are already sex offenders that got records and they still ain't got canceled. They ain't went to jail. Let's talk about that part. All the motherfuckers that got DUIs and all that shit. Let's talk about that. That got fucking domestic violence convictions on their record. Some of the worst fucking criminals, some of the worst people that have committed crimes in our country are in our fucking Senate and House of Representatives. So stop playing with me. Y'all just want to pick and choose on who you like. Motherfucker you like is the motherfucker who you want to lock up. Butter biscuits, see how that works for you. Have no idea what that means. Nigga speak. That's exactly what that is. I agree with you, but what about those victims? What can you do about the victims? It's 450,000 children that got lost during the migration. Children. These are people that we know are children. They allowed this. 450,000. They were able to, since Trump has been in office, they've been able to actually recover 100,000, which means there are still 150,000. There's still 300,000 plus kids that are out and about in our country that have been lost. Victims are everywhere. And I'm not trying to just dismiss it. I'm just saying what the facts are. I'm more concerned about these victims that are children that's out here lost right now, that are in who knows what situation that they're in, being taken advantage of and being abused, than I am about some motherfucking teenagers that was out at an island that was wanting to hoe with another bitch that went out there. I get it. And I'm not saying that they not victims, but I'm saying I'm more concerned about a 7-year-old that got picked up and said somebody said that they was that person's relative and took them. I'm more concerned about getting that 7-year-old back than that motherfucking 16-year-old that went to the island. Because that motherfucker wasn't bound and gagged. That motherfucker, them girls weren't tied up. They weren't bound and gagged. They weren't chloroformed like in the movies. They weren't dragged, kicking and screaming and thrown into some white fucking rape van and taken to that island. I get so tired of people acting like motherfucking teenagers don't act like they want to be with grown men. And vice versa. I'm so tired of people acting like that shit don't occur. Not saying that what they did was wrong, is not wrong. I'm not saying that. But I would rather go after a little kid who's been taken against their will, or a little kid who actually don't know no better and is being forced to be in a situation, than some 15-year-old that wanted to get some money because they want to get a Gucci bag and they went over with this grown man to give him a massage. Or settle the case, but there's not the same outrage with the Epstein files. I didn't get all of that, but we'll keep it moving. Just saying.
That there are at least 13 states across the country that has an office that is dedicated to reducing gun violence. The Biden administration established the first of its kind at the federal level. What I
shout out to Dixon Designs.
Continue to say,
appreciate you.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us to find ways in which we can.
And see, and this is a part of the grift. So they talk about these gun violent reduction groups and these departments that reduce gun violence. And you know what, where the grift is and where the bullshit lies with that? They don't tell you how they're doing it. They don't tell you what the effect of it is done. They don't give you no real numbers. All it is a position where somebody's taking some funding and putting it in some motherfuckers' pockets that's making it seem like they're doing it. You don't see no videos of them actually doing this job that's reducing gun violence. You don't see none of the fruits of these trees for these departments. And that's why I call bullshit. That's exactly why I call bullshit on it, because you don't see it anywhere. Where are all of these anti-violence, all of these groups, all of these departments, and all of these cities that have been established and funded with taxpayer money to actually reduce gun violence? Where's the fruit of their labors? Where do we see it? What are they doing? Where's the video footage? We're in the age of technology. It's a camera everywhere you go. It's a phone everywhere you go. Why are we not seeing how this works if it works so well? And then you're going to have somebody who's saying right now, yeah, well, when you look at the numbers, when you review the numbers, yeah, you mean the numbers that they're juking? People don't understand that what juking the stats mean. Well, let me explain it to you. Juking the stats means basically the way that I report crime and what I consider and call a crime today and what I call it tomorrow, two different things, jukes the stats. That's what that means. The fact that I see an illegal alien fighting somebody and I go and I interact as a police officer and I break it up and I say, okay, this person did this and I'm going to arrest this person because of what they've done. Now I got an arrest for an assault and I'm going to take them to jail, right? That's a stat. However, when I've been told if you come across a migrant, you don't interact with them and you don't do anything and do not lock them up. So when I see that same fight next week with two different migrants, what do? I do nothing. Juke in the stats. So that crime that I witnessed or that crime that I've been called to that I would normally process and normally take the person or the guilty party to jail with, I've been now mandated not to. That's how it looks like crime goes down. That's just one example. Let's keep it moving.
Work together to reduce violence as a whole, but gun violence particularly. I'm prepared to talk more about this particular call to action later this week. But as you know, this particular advocacy group has been calling for such an office to exist through multiple administrations. And we're going to continue to hear how the work that we're doing to drive violence down can work in coordination with the vision that this organization and organizing apparatus has.
Organization and organizing apparatus has done bullshit. And he said he was going to talk about this later this week. Well, it's been later this week, and there was no press conference about it. Bullshit and word salad. That's all I'm saying.
So just to be clear, you're not against their suggestion?
I'm saying that this has been an ongoing fight for this group for some time through multiple administrations. And there is a precedent that's been established at the federal level, particularly, again, what the Biden-Harris administration did. So I'm going to continue to explore pathways in which the office that I created of community safety can
Great question.
work in conjunction with what this organizing apparatus is calling for.
Great.
Great question. So my man Calvin says, how do you stop the gangs? Because the gang culture will never end no matter what you do. You're right and you're wrong. So here's how you stop the gangs. You give other options. And you give other options by giving kids resources to where, because the gangs need what? They need bodies. They need you in a place to where they can use you. And what do they do when they're using you? They're using you to enterprise, sell shit, steal shit, do shit, protect the turf, all of that shit. But when you have other resources in place to where, like active policing, that minimizes gang activity, because it's not about getting rid of the gangs, it's about the gang activity. You minimize gang activity by having police, by being tough on crime, and giving resources to children. You know why when I was a kid, why we didn't do no takeovers? You know why we didn't just go downtown and fuck around and fuck about and tear shit up and steal and jump on cars? Because we were at our parks. We were at the YMCAs. We were out playing sports. We were actually in school, after school programs. Do you realize when I was in elementary school, I got out of school at 2:30, right? And you talking about me being a latchkey kid. My mama was at work and my daddy was at work. He lived around the corner from me. My daddy was out the house when I was 3 years old. He moved around the corner from me, but he was still not there. So 2:30, I get out of school. You know what I did? I brought my black ass home. I ate something because I was a fat motherfucker and I love to eat. I brought my ass home, and then 3 o'clock, 3:30, I'm at West Pullman Park. I'm swimming. I'm in the drama club. I'm what else do they have? Floor hockey. I'm doing, there's a multitude of shit I get to do. You can go play basketball, and I wasn't no hooper, so I never really played basketball, but did gymnastics, boxing. This is all at West Pullman Park. Gymnastics, boxing, dance, wood shop, which I was cold as hell in. Wood shop. I said boxing, drama, floor hockey, swimming, water polo, free swim, junior lifeguard. What else did they have there? What was the other shit the girls used to do? I want to say they had a sewing thing there, but I'm not sure. I ain't 100% on that, if they had sewing or not. I thought they did, but there was a multitude of things that we could do. Girls gym and boys gym. So the girls could play basketball. The girls did dance. The girls did all of that kind. They had it. We had gym shows where all of the different groups would come and do stuff, and you would do something in the gym show, whether you in a dance group, or whether you doing this. They got jazz. They had all kind of stuff, jazz, dance. They had a gym where you can go and work out and lift weights. They had classrooms, all that kind of stuff. It's a resource. So from 3 o'clock until the park closed at 9:30. From that time, 9 o'clock, 9:30, yeah, because like swim will be over at 9 o'clock, and then adult swim, right? Because adult swim, because free swim for the kids was from 3:30 to 4:30, and then from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock was family swim, and then I think from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock was adult swim, or vice versa, adult then family, whatever the case may be. So you could literally be at the pool the whole day. So by the time it's 9 o'clock, 9:30 when I'm leaving, because I didn't get dressed now and all that shit, it's 9:30, almost 10 o'clock. You know where I'm going now? Home, because it ain't shit else left to do. I'm tired from all the activities that I've been doing, and I don't want to go run the streets. I want to go get me something to eat and go back home because I got school tomorrow. I go to wood shop the next day. I'm in wood shop from 3:30 all the way till 7 o'clock. That's what I'm doing. There were things to do. So when you got other things to do and other options and other resources in a safe space, and you got the police out there, because see, the police we had back in our day, them police didn't fuck around with you. You couldn't get up in no police face talking about you better not touch me, bitch. Fuck 12. You didn't get to do that. Grumpy and Smiley will ride around and be like, hey, man, we about to ride around in this block. By the time we come back around here, your ass better not be on this corner. Because they knew you don't hang out on the corner. You don't have no kids hanging out on the corner. Y'all better be on somebody's porch. 9 o'clock, nigga, please. Be fucking around hanging out on the corner? No, sir. Not in West Pullman. Not with Smiley and Grumpy. Not with Maniac. See, my cop, that's my police officer's name. Wasn't no officer friendly. We had a cop named Maniac, nigga. So it's like those are the kind of things that eliminates the gang culture. And yes, you still gonna have somebody that's gonna get in the gang. Absolutely. But the greater majority of your kids, when they got something to do and somewhere to be, and it's safe, they got something to eat, you can keep those kids off the street. We had midnight basketball leagues. So that means at 10 o'clock, what the kids doing? They playing basketball. The young people, they playing basketball in the gym. We had a midnight basketball league for the old niggas. So them old niggas, they love playing basketball, and they had an audience in the crowd because motherfuckers would come up there. Police would be up there to make sure no bullshit going on, but also the gang members would be like, hey, man, look, y'all the fours and we the GDs, but we can play this game. We can hoop. Ain't no bullshit afterwards. You go home, we go home, and it's all good. Wasn't no hanging out after you left because motherfuckers know what happened when you hang out. Nope, take your ass home, take y'all ass home. Get the fuck off the park ground. That's how you stop it.
Your deputy mayor for community safety, Emmanuel Andre, now on the job. How would you say in the few weeks that he's been in that position, how would you say the city's response to violence has improved with him leading that office over his predecessor?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm leading the efforts to build the safest, most affordable big city in America. Much like all of my deputy mayors, I'm all
of my deputy mayors, and I think one or two of them just got fired because they just wasn't with the bullshit. But all I'm saying is he's not being successful, and he's still fucking going down this path because he don't give a shit.
Always in constant communication with them. Their job ultimately is to carry out my vision, and what I am grateful for is that we have strong public servants that recognize their role in building the safest, most affordable big city in America.
Mayor Johnson, last week I sat in this very seat and I warned you that Juneteenth is historically one of the most violent days for whatever reason in the city of Chicago. You dismissed that. I asked you if Donald Trump, the president.
And look, I'm going to say this about the Epstein thing and then I'm done with it. Mr. Breadman made a great point, and I'm going to agree with you. I believe that they all are. They all know that the fuck shit that done went on, that everybody done did something with it. And if it's not them specifically, it's somebody that they know that they're friends with and that they are protecting. So at the end of the day, what can you do with that? Nothing. You can't do anything about that. Unless you're going to get rid of Congress and get rid of the Senate, put term limits and shit like that in place, you can forget it, dude. There's always going to be injustice on that level of government because y'all let these motherfuckers sit in office for forever. And if you not push, and I'm saying Democrat and Republican alike, if y'all ain't pushing for term limits, if y'all ain't doing that shit, it's going to continue to stay the same. Because if I'm going to be a fucking senator or I'm going to be a fucking house rep for fucking 35, 40 years, I'm definitely going to do some illegal shit and some incriminating shit. And if we all in it together, nobody will ever know. And by the time they do find out, they won't be able to do a goddamn thing about it. That's why it's the way that it is now. Depending on who in office is the way the wind blows. And ain't nobody, and I mean nobody, gonna lock their own self up. That ain't happening. So I'm just saying that's just what this shit is with this Epstein shit. And that's why, even though it makes sense from a moral standpoint to figure that shit out, you can't get shit done from a criminal aspect or a prosecution aspect because there's too many fucking hands in the cookie jar on this shit. It's not gonna ever happen. Unless you get rid of motherfucking all of Congress and all the motherfucking Senate, that's the only way you could ever get some headway with this shit. Other than that, it's a wrap, bro. And this is why we need term limits so bad. Sorry.
In the United States, if you would reach out to him for some kind of help or assistance, again, you dismissed that. You said that you're the mayor, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said that Donald Trump was a massive failure or something to that effect. And now we have seen the results. 40 plus people shot, a dozen plus people murdered in the city of Chicago on Juneteenth, the weekend with the Obama Library and all the other wonderful things happening.
Mm-hmm.
And the people of Chicago, the real people, are asking me if you are aware, if you're even paying attention, if you're the massive failure, perhaps you're the massive failure in this equation and not the president, who, by the way,
William, is that the other question?
Thank you for your question.
So he called this motherfucker a massive failure. Not just a failure, but a massive failure. He says, here in Houston, we had that back in the day too. Us teens was back there getting some booty too, especially at nighttime. I don't know about all that, man. I'm just saying. He said, man, I miss that Chicago. Dave, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? There you go. That's real, because these recreation centers and parks are either severely underfunded or mismanaged, bro. And all I'm saying is that's the truth. We talking about what worked. I'm talking about somebody who lived through it. That's all I'm saying. My mother was a single mother out working every day, and I had somewhere to be that was safe. My father was a Chicago police officer, so he was working and he was making his money to take care of his child support obligations and his living his life too. And at the end of the day, I had somewhere safe to be. And our park was safe. Our school was safe. So from the time of in the morning, from when school opened up at 8 o'clock in the morning, we started school at like 8:55 or 9 o'clock. From that time of 8:30, because I was even a patrol boy. So even that time from 8:30 in the morning until 9 or after 9 o'clock at night, there was a safe space for me to be at if I wasn't at home. I ain't even talking about the integrity on our block. I ain't even talking about how safe our block was. I'm just saying, if I did not want to be on my block, I had two places that I could actually be that were safe. And not to mention the YMCA as well, but that was a little far from us. But it was still someplace safe that we could be and go to. How many of those are around now? Why did we divest from that? Why did they fire all of the Chicago Park District workers? Why did they close all of the Chicago Park districts? But you can fund $1.2 billion for migrants? Get the fuck out my face, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit. That's all I'm saying. Talking about wraparound services and all this bullshit he talking now, dude. It's nonsense. City of Chicago owns an unbelievable amount of real estate. They could do whatever the fuck they want to do with that property there. And you know what they did with it? Nothing, until the migrants came and they opened all that shit up for them. Stop playing with me. Gotcha. Yeah, that's just because it's rolling over here on the side. Whatchamacallit, but it's just, yeah, it's just me working through it. Exactly. Just saying. We were around the same age. Yep, because I'm 52, David. I'm telling you, man. That shit was before us. That's all I'm saying. Let's go.
States has reached out again.
Well, thank you for your question.
Donald Trump has said
So,
he's willing to help.
what
Will
you're
you
asking-
at long last accept his,
I
his
appreciate
support?
you. I appreciate you
Well, if you
taking
could
some
let me
time.
ask the question, I'd be
You
willing.
have. You said
Okay.
that real
Will
people
you
in
accept his
Chicago.
help now?
Well, you asked two questions. Then.
No.
Your first question was, just want to make sure that I'm repeating what you said.
Okay.
Your
do my
first
best.
question was centered around, and it's a very lousy attempt of what you're trying to conflate. But your first question was
Now he's
essentially around who takes responsibility, right? And then your
Right.
second question is the help that's needed from the federal government. So I'll answer both of them. And so, look, it's very clear that as it relates to community safety, that the President of the United States of America has done nothing to help secure safe communities across this country. He's done nothing to do that. In fact, if you look specifically at his so-called Black agenda, he has not delivered on one promise. You can't say that.
So all I'm saying is this, and I've never seen this before. When and why would the responsibility of a city and the safety thereof, that city, be the president's responsibility? Responsibility. Not saying he can't assist, but the responsibility. And then you're going to make it my responsibility, but then you're going to tell me how I got to be responsible for it, as far as me just sending you a bunch of money that you want. That's essentially what his argument is. So you basically going to tell me, well, this is what you need to be doing. You are responsible for the city and the safety thereof, my city. And you don't need to send no troops or tell me what needs to be done. No, you just need to open up your checkbook and give me the money to spend. A motherfucker who has never secured a city before, a motherfucker who knows nothing about crime, a motherfucker who has no background, no history, no evidence of knowing anything about the streets and how to solve crime. I'm just supposed to give you a fuck ton of money to figure it out. You tell me what universe that makes sense in. There's no way possible. Me being, if I was the president of the United States, I wouldn't give Brandon Johnson $100 fucking dollars. Because I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do with it. No way. If he don't have some shit that I can actually go and audit and verify, there's no fucking way I would give this motherfucker 10 cents or $1. Because you know what he's going to do with it? He's going to go buy a fucking desk for 70 grand. That's what the fuck he's going to do with the money. I'm sorry. He going to go buy a desk for his wife that's $70,000. That's what he does with city taxpayer money. So I know what the fuck he would do with government, federal funds. That trucker sound. I wonder if that shit even work. Trucker, see, I'm gonna see if it work real quick. Give me 2 seconds. Let me see what happens. I wonder if y'all can even hear that. Y'all tell me if y'all can hear this, because I don't hear nothing. I'm just saying. I just hit a bomb drop and I hit an air horn. Y'all let me know if y'all heard something. I don't even think that shit works anymore. I got to redo that. But I'm just saying, right, and a $300 haircut. Who the fuck gets their haircut for $300? You got a fucking mohawk, bro. Like, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Yep, I've said that for years, since this whole shit started with COVID. But let's hear what you got to say now.
You believe in creating safe communities and then literally undermine all of the efforts that create safer communities. That's why he's a failure. It's not just he's just a failure. He is a...
Where's his track record to prove this? Undermining programs that make communities safe. Where's his evidence of this? Show me the money. Show me the stats. Show me something to where a particular city spent this much on this type of program And that program then brought crime down to this level or these numbers. Show me that. You would think if somebody had that evidence that they would be plastering it everywhere. Like how Donald Trump have his charts and all that shit. You would think if he knew this and could prove this that he would, but he can't. He's just talking and just want people to give him money, and then he's gonna say we working on it. It's a fucking scam.
He's a doty individual, right? And
he's
so
fake.
Because
he's a
of
doty.
that,
Okay.
To answer your first question, the responsibility, of course, is on all of us. Here's a responsibility that I continue to take. Driving a community safety plan that removes guns from the streets of Chicago, driving a community safety plan that actually invests in the communities that this president refuses to invest in, driving a community safety plan that ensures that our local police department has the tools that they need to ultimately hold people accountable is why we have seen positive trends. Now, of course, there's more work to be done. That work is not going to be accomplished through social media. The failure of this administration is that he is more interested in tweeting or posting evil and inhumane projections of people and our humanity than he is actually willing to put money into the very communities that he ostensibly offers some degree of care for. But the fact of the matter is this: there's no administration in this city that has contributed more to keeping people safe. Is there more work to be done? Absolutely. Has this president undermined our work? He most certainly has. Again, this is an individual that is more interested in removing voting rights protections. He's more interested.
There we go. All I'm saying is this. If he could prove what he's saying, it would mean so much more. He's literally just talking, making shit up, posting evil. What the fuck does that mean? Posting evil. I don't understand what that is. I don't understand what that is. What is posting evil and undermining programs? How can I, as the president, undermine a program you got in your city? And that's the whole thing. He just wants he wants the government to just get, and this, and I'm gonna say this to his point, because it ain't just him. This is the problem with one of the reasons why I just can't get with this liberal Democrat agenda. Because essentially you just want me to give you money and you do with it what you think is best. And it ain't your money. Democrats and liberals are amazing at spending money that ain't theirs. I'm saying that Republicans don't do the same thing, but these motherfuckers spend it on fucking pipe dreams. Like the Green Initiative, global warming, all that shit. They love it. Spending a bunch of somebody else's money on pipe dreams that they have is what they enjoy, and not only enjoy, they believe they are entitled to do so. And if you're not doing it, then you're the problem. If you won't open up your wallet and give me all the money that I think I should have, you're the problem. That doesn't even make sense, because here's the thing. If his way worked, he would do everything in his power to fund his way to prove that it worked. But he will never do that. Never. And this is why he's such, and I'm not going to even say a terrible mayor. This is why he's such a bad person. And this is why people like him should never be in charge. Because the people like him consistently make bad choices because they are literally, and I'm not trying to just be disrespectful, they are literally incompetent. They don't know. They don't have a clue as to how to figure it out. So all they're doing is just making up shit and having these fucking pipe dreams, thinking that that is the way. And the one thing they don't fail at is enriching themselves. They gonna figure that shit out. This world can burn to the fucking ground. The whole city can burn to the ground. He gonna figure out a way to get paid. But he believes that because he went to college, he believes that he's educated. He believes that he knows what's best for everybody. Even when he don't know shit about a certain thing, he believes that he's still the one that knows best. And that's very dangerous to have somebody who thinks like that in charge of the city. And that's why the city is so fucked up right now. And it's going to get worse before it even gets attempts to start getting better.
And calling for investigations or reducing the ability to investigate civil rights violations, right?
Why would I be worried about civil rights violations when I just had 40 people shot and 8 dead? Why do I care about that right now? Civil rights violations? Are you serious? Civil rights violations. 40 shot, 8 dead. Civil rights violations. All right.
It's not just simply about his abject failure. It's about his overwhelming interest in coordinating the upward transfer of wealth into the hands of the ultra rich at the expense of everyday people. That's what he has failed to do, because, well, that's what he has done. His failure, of course, is in defunding the very efforts that ultimately can keep people safe.
Thank you, William. Question.
Thank you.
Question is simply this.
So fuck the fact that the police are 2,000 officers down. Fuck that shit. That don't mean nothing. Do you realize that his entire answer was about Donald Trump making it his fault? 40 people shot, 8 dead, Donald Trump's fault. The president of the United States is at fault for this. So whose fault was it when Obama was the president? Whose fault was it when Biden was the president? Same shit been happening. This ain't just started happening when Trump got in office. This has been happening before Trump got in office. Whose fault was it then? And this is why I say this dude is just not a good human, man. Because he's okay with this. He's okay making this and lying to the people trying to make it Trump's fault.
You've already asked 2 questions. You've asked 2 questions. Nope.
You campaigned on defunding the police.
Nope.
You
asked 2 questions.
You say that incarcerating violent repeat offenders is some kind of
You can talk as long as you want. You've asked your 2 questions already, and I've answered both of them.
You interrupt.
No, you've asked 2 questions.
I also have civil rights. I have freedom of speech. I have freedom.
Well, you can just free yourself on out of here, because I'm not
You
answering
can free
anything
yourself
else.
on out of
You've
here.
already asked 2 questions, and your time is done. So go ahead. Finish.
The
Finish.
United States, the city of Chicago is down 2,000 police officers under your administration, and yet you have 150 some police officers on your security detail. If Chicago is so safe, why not release some of those police officers back onto the streets where they can help real Chicagoans?
You're done. Thank you. Jake.
You're done. Thank you.
And
that's exactly how he leaves.
Department. Why do you think this is needed? Is there a capacity issue now in the Office of Community Safety, or is this an effort to lock in anti-violence efforts that might not stick if you don't win this office again?
Well, if you're asking me if my decisions are politically motivated, they're not. They're not. And look, I understand why people would believe that a politician would speak of their own interests. My interest is building the safest, most affordable big city in America. In terms of our evolution of government, I think that is the nature of public service.
So here's the thing, and I hope that people can understand this. The fact that he can't articulate that, it's like a used car salesman. I'm going to tell you how good of a car this is just because it's on my lot. And I'm not going to tell you why. I'm just going to tell you that's a really good car. It sounds good. We can start it up. And then if you buy it And if you have any problems, I'm going to take care of you, no problem. Then you buy the car. Turns out to be a lemon. And there's only so much that they're going to cover to fix the car. Or they tell you, well, you bought it as is. This is what it is. You got to get it fixed. He's selling you something that he can't even articulate. I'm going to make Chicago the biggest, safest, most affordable city in the world. Great. How? What tangible, actionable plan do you have that I can clearly see how this works and that it has worked to where I could believe it? If I tell you I can do something and I can't show you from a precedent from a previous time I've done it, or I can't specifically tell you how I'm going to do it, don't you believe shit I'm saying? You shouldn't believe shit somebody's telling you if they can't show you where they've done it before, and then they can't walk you through exactly how it gets done to show you actionables, not talking points, actionables on how to do something. And this is what these motherfucking Democrats do. This is what these liberals do when they just tell you the shit that you want to hear. And I understand that as much as you may want to believe it, you got to be smart enough to say, well, all right, man, I want to believe this. So can you please show me? Not, well, just give me the money and then I'll let you know. No, show me. Where have you done this before? Tell me what's not biggest. Tell me what small city Brandon Johnson has made the safest and most affordable in the country, in the state. He hasn't. He's never done it before. So how would he be able, just by logic, how would this man be able to do this and he's never done it anywhere else before? He can't tell you, hey, I'm pretty much doing what I did over in Alsip. I'm doing the same thing here. Hey, man, that same thing I did over in Harvey, I'm going to do the same thing here, just on a larger scale. I know how this works. I know how to get this done. I just need you all to trust in what I'm doing, and you'll see the results. He's never done it before. Now, all of a sudden, this dude knows how to fucking make the third largest city in the fucking country. He knows how to make it safe and affordable. You tell me how. And this is the problem. This is the problem with us, because we believe that well, no, y'all believe that bullshit.
The answers that I have can only be strengthened when other people are invited into the process to actually come up with solutions from a more collective response. Look,
he said come up with it. So he don't even have the shit together. Y'all heard that, right? He don't even have the shit together. He don't even have it figured out. He's telling you, I gotta still get other people involved to figure it out.
To actually come up with solutions from a more collective response. The answers that I have can only be strengthened when other people are invited into the process to actually come up with solutions from a more collective response.
So he don't even know if his answer is going to work. He don't have any proof of his answer working. He said, I just want to give y'all my answer so everybody else can figure out how this actually is going to work. Absolutely not, Jesse Huff. This dude will not get reelected. He's done. He's done just like Lori Lightfoot was done. The thing is going to be who the next person is that gets in there. Shout out to my man, William Washington. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, brother. That super chat donation. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. So that's letting you know the level of incompetence that this man has. he don't even know if the shit he's suggesting is working. He's leaning for other people to figure his shit out.
Look, do I believe that we have done some incredible work through our collaborative efforts? Absolutely. Is that work complete? It's not.
Right.
And your office has made several efforts, or in the city council recently, on VGTs. I'm curious why you have been generally supportive of sweepstakes gambling machines. Those are already existent. They don't have much oversight. They're especially in Black and Latino neighborhoods and pulling money out of them. Why not oppose those?
Well, look, the concerns that we have raised around VGTs are legitimate, right? And having a hearing, which I believe is going to take place tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, that's necessary. I mean, look, there is certain activity that I don't necessarily engage in. I don't drink, right? And I do know that through liquor tax, we actually generate revenue. This idea that certain activity requires special judgment because of what it does, I try not to walk in any level of condemnation. So just because there's something that I may not particularly engage in doesn't mean that that my particular standard should be the utilizing force to determine whether or not a particular form of gambling or anything else should be permitted.
Yeah, but you all have opposed VGTs and not opposed sweepstakes gambling.
Well, because what I've said was there's some legitimate concerns there, right? Particularly for workers, how would it impact the casino? Like all of those things have to be brought into consideration. In fact, if I'm not...
Yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on. I got one more thing that I want to play for y'all. Give me 1 second. And then we should be able to wrap this up. But I just wanted to make sure, man, that I was able to just show how much of just ignorance that this man has. He literally don't know.
States if
he don't know shit.
Reach out to him
and it's
for
like
some kind of help
that
or
to me
assistance.
is so
Again, you
problematic
dismiss
that you have somebody who is in that type of position that don't know what the hell they're doing. And it's like people are okay with that, and y'all have voted that in. And all I'm saying is, not even to his point, but why would y'all vote for somebody who literally
the end of slavery
don't have the experience? And not saying experience, because how many people, and just so I can make sure I'm articulating myself properly, not saying that you got to have experience as a mayor, not to say that you have to have experience as a senator or as a representative, whatever the case may be. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you're talking about politics, you're talking about the governing and the distribution of power and resources. Why would you not have somebody who has some type of business acumen to do that, as opposed to somebody who is literally in an environment and have been in a career where that is not a part of what it is they do? A teacher doesn't have business acumen. A teacher does not have resource allocation and management skills. They literally teach. They take a certain piece of curriculum out of a book or out of whatever it is that they're using as a resource to teach, and they educate and impart that information into another group, into the group. That's it. That's all I'm saying. All right, this last thing here is I just want to give you a taste of what Stephen A had to say about this, because I thought it was pretty good. So I'm gonna play that for you in 1 second. Is this it? Nope. Dang it. There we go. All right, here we go.
in the United States. That's what Juneteenth is. Juneteenth, June 19th, Emancipation Proclamation, issued by Abraham Lincoln in January of 1863.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me go back.
And we're not hearing anything. Why is that? I bring up Juneteenth, ladies and gentlemen. On Juneteenth, because he put his hands on me, so I did it.
Yeah.
According to the reports.
I'll be right.
We've got people all over the place going off, talking about police officers, talking about the court system, talking about the inequity within our legal system, et cetera, et cetera. But 39 people get shot on Juneteenth. 6 are killed. And we're not hearing anything. Why is that? I bring up Juneteenth, ladies and gentlemen, to remind you what Juneteenth is. It's a U.S. holiday that commemorates the end of slavery in the United States. That's what Juneteenth is. Juneteenth, June 19th, Emancipation Proclamation issued by Abraham Lincoln in January of 1863. This is what we're talking about. June 19th, 1865, 2 years ago, Union General, reading from here, Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced that enslaved people in Texas were free. This date is what became known as Juneteenth. You know how, as black folks, we sit up there and we talk about it's Malcolm X Boulevard, it's Martin Luther King Boulevard, and that's usually where violence takes place? That's what they're saying about Juneteenth right now. 39 people shot. 6 killed. And what are we saying? You got more people arguing about Carmelo Anthony than this. And I'm not getting into, oh, you know what? It's black on black. Wait a minute. White people kill white people. Hispanics kill Hispanics. The people you live with, the people you live amongst, the people you live around, that's where violence usually take place amongst one another. I know that. I don't care about that. I care about us, our community right now, as it pertains to this subject. What we going to do, peoples? I'm talking to black people. What we going to do? Barack Obama had his presidential center opened this past Friday. We all celebrating it. And we got nothing to say about 39 black folks, 39 people rather getting shot, 6 fatally. How about this? Let me read some numbers to you because I think it's important. It's only right. Chicago, in the year 2024, recorded 580 homicides in that 1 year alone, with black residents accounting for roughly 3/4 to 4/5 of the victims. The ratio,
mind you, this is during 2024 when they are juking the stats. This is what was reported because it was damn near almost double that, but this is just them juking the stats on the certain shit that they're reporting. So let's just go with this. And let's just say that's what it is.
Safety gap remains stark. The University of Chicago Crime Lab reports that in 2025, black Chicagoans had a homicide rate of nearly 40 per 100,000 residents, compared with less than 2 per 100,000 residents for white residents.
So that means 40 per every 100,000 versus 2 per every 100,000. That's the difference. And I hate when these motherfuckers try to say white on white crime and black on black crime is the same thing. There's no such thing as black on black crime because black folk. Let me tell you something. There's a difference between crime and violent crime. Shootings, stabbings. White folks ain't shooting and stabbing white folks more than or just as much as black folks. It's not true. It's not true. And niggas have been trying to grift and sell this shit for fucking years, and I don't understand why they're doing it. I guess they just want to lie. But it's not true. How do I know? Because you're going to ask me that? Great question. And all I'm asking for y'all is to do this, and I've been saying this for years. The day somebody shows me that 40 people have been shot and 8 people dead in a fucking trailer park, then I got you. then you have a point. Until you show me consistently every weekend where you have mass shootings and multiple deaths in these white, because the trailer park is where poor white folks live. That's where they cooking the meth and all that shit. Trailer parks is where that's low income white housing. Till you show me that trailer park, or just show me the white neighborhood where it's multiple shootings and multiple deaths consistently over weekends, then we can have a conversation. Until then, shut the fuck up, because I know I'm right. That's all I'm saying, King Jin. To your point, y'all watch what happened next week. Mark my words that I'm going to be right back doing a show the week after the 4th of July weekend, talking about how many niggas done got shot, how many niggas done got killed in Chicago. I promise you that shit's about to happen. Because the shit that motherfuckers don't want to talk about, don't want to say, these 40 motherfuckers that done got shot, these 40 motherfuckers now have beef. These 8 motherfuckers that done got killed, these 8 motherfuckers' loved ones, they got beef. And the beef is about to cook this weekend and next weekend. I'm just saying, watch what these niggas do. And watch me be right back here after the holiday talking about how many niggas then got shot, how many niggas then got killed. That's all I'm saying. And ain't nobody talking about this shit.
That means black residents were more than 20 times more likely to be homicide victims. Chicago Public Schools directs additional resources to high poverty neighborhoods with operational spending ranging from roughly $19,000 to $22,000 per student. Yet the city continues to lose hundreds of black lives to violence each year. Even after total homicides fell to 416 in the year 2025 from the 580 in 2024, black residents still accounted for the overwhelming majority of victims. Where's the noise about that?
Right.
It's not politics. It's not policy. I'm a black man concerned about black people because we make up 13% of the population. So if we made up 57% of the population, like the white community does, deaths don't affect us numbers-wise the way that it affects the black community. Since the Hispanic community is the dominant minority in this country, it doesn't affect them numbers-wise compared to the way that it affects us. We keep allowing this stuff to go on in the streets of Chicago or St. Louis or anywhere else where it's prevalent. We're going to be a damn endangered species.
Yes.
Got nothing to say?
And that's the point I've made when all of these per capita pro-black niggas talk this bullshit. This is why it makes me angry. Because it's one thing when you want to say a percentage and you talk about, if I tell you, hey, man, I need 30% of your dollar, that means I'm taking 30 cents of your dollar and you keeping 70 cents. When I tell you I need 50% of your dollar, that means I'm keeping 50% and you keeping 50 cents. When we talking about $1,000, $300 make a difference, don't it? When we talk about $10,000, $10,000 make a difference, don't it? Because now I'm only keeping $3,000. When we talking $100,000, I'm only taking $30,000. You see how that works? When we talking $1 million, I'm only taking $300,000. The point is, it's quicker for me. It's easier for me to part ways with $300,000 out of $1 million than it is with 70 cents out of $1.
Because me giving you 70 cents of my dollar, nigga, that means I might not be able to buy me nothing to eat. Percentages matter, especially when you're going up and you're going down, and how much resource you have. If I got $10 million and somebody takes $3 million away from me, that's a lot of fucking money, and I get it. But I still got $7 million left. So when you're talking about a population of 13%, half of that, more than half of that being women, you're talking about 6% of that being men. And you're talking about taking how much of those lives away? That's why he said what he said about we becoming an endangered species, because it's black men that's suffering this shit the most. That's why what he's saying should be resonating with black men, if nobody else.
I'm very sorry about Carmelo Anthony. I don't like the fact that he got 35 years. I really, really don't. Not when I think about Case and Allison. Not when I think about Kyle Rittenhouse. Remember him, August 2020? During unrest in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He's 17 years old at the time. He shot and killed 2 people and wounded a third while claiming self-defense. And then in November of 2021, a jury acquitted him on all charges, including homicide and reckless endangerment, finding he acted in self-defense. I don't like that discrepancy.
Well, let me correct you on that, Stephen A., because I was with you till you got to that point. But let me explain to y'all why Kyle Rittenhouse got off and should have got off. Number one, he was well within his right to be in Wisconsin. Number two, he was well within his right to be carrying an AR-15. Even though if it was his, wasn't his grandmama's, his granddaddy's, his best friends, or whoever. He was well within his rights to do that. What people fail to realize with that shit is that he was being chased by people who had a gun, and one who had a fucking skateboard using it as a weapon trying to hit him. He was already retreating. And here's the thing. He got off and he shot and killed white people. Why do niggas give a fuck to this day about Kyle Rittenhouse? I have no idea. He was retreating and fleeing away from someone who was chasing him with a Glock, a handgun. And the other guy had a fucking skateboard, and the other guy was going fisticuffs. He had like some kind of bag or some shit. So you talking about a boy, a young man who's being chased by 3 people. 2 of them holding weapons that can cause death or great bodily harm. And the fact that he literally defended himself while trying to run away from them, how does that even compare? And they were white. And he got acquitted. What the fuck is wrong with niggas? I don't understand this. You're literally bringing up, because this is what the problem is with this. You're bringing up Kyle Rittenhouse strictly because of the fact that he's young and white. The circumstances of his shooting, the circumstances of him actually shooting somebody, you're bringing that up because he's young and white versus someone who is young and black who actually murdered somebody with a knife by stabbing them in the heart because he was asked to leave a tent that was not his and that he did not have a right to be in. Over 15 times was asked to leave and he wouldn't. How do those two compare? I have no clue. Why even reference that? I have no idea. Same thing when they try to bring up Trayvon Martin. The young man was literally hitting what's his name? George Zimmerman, to the point to where he was getting his head was hitting the concrete. And you can clearly see the bruises on him and his head, on his face and head. What are we talking about here? Austin Metcalf literally was pushed him once to get out of the tent. Not pushed him to fight him, but was pushing him, telling him to get out of here, to leave our area. I don't know why we do that, but it's a bad argument.
One bit. That's why I mentioned it. Don't like the Trayvon Martin thing. I still remember that from 2012. Sanford, Florida. Neighborhood watch volunteer George Zimmerman fatally shot. Trayvon Martin, he was 17 years old, who was unarmed and walking home. After a confrontation, Zimmerman claimed self-defense, got acquitted of second-degree murder and manslaughter. You think I forgot that? I did not. I'm still sitting here saying to you right now, Carmelo Anthony is different than that. He had a knife that he brought to a track meet. Life wasn't in danger.
Yep.
And he said, put your hands on me and see what happens.
Yep.
A shove ended up into a killing.
Yep.
Which is why you see the polarization that you're witnessing. Because on one hand, you have somebody like a Dr. Umar Johnson, who, by the way, is highly intelligent, by the way, Officer Tatum. I'm not going to call him names and disrespect a man like that.
Please.
I just...
Fucking Umar Johnson, whether intelligent or not intelligent, he's a fucking liar. He makes shit up consistently and is he's just a fucking liar. This man got a school that ain't nobody enrolled in, that everybody done gave over $500,000 to, and he still ain't got a fucking student in a classroom. He's a fucking liar and a fucking scam artist. Plain and simple. If he's smart enough to pull that off, yeah, I guess so. I guess he's not stupid. But the shit that he says, he is notorious for lying. That's all the fuck he does. He was the one that says Austin Metcalf fell onto Trayvon's knife, while 20 other motherfuckers said no. I mean, not Trayvon, but Carmelo Anthony stabbed him. How the fuck do I fall on somebody's knife and you call that a stab? No, that's not how that works. A stab means that I stabbed you. Meanwhile, this motherfucker talking about Umar, who's just lying his ass off and making shit up because he's talking about black boys forever, snow bunnies never, all that bullshit he's talking. Meanwhile, this nigga ain't married one black woman, black queen, but he's known to be laying around and sleeping around with the conscious stripper. But he's talking about black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Right. Right. The nigga who's trying to tell me to marry the black queen ain't got one himself. Ain't had one himself. This motherfucker ain't even smart enough to get married again, did divorce and say, hey, at least I tried. He ain't even done that. He's just walking around here talking about black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Meanwhile, he's fucking hoes. Man, what the fuck ever. I ain't got time for this shit.
Don't understand why he's going this route. But it is fair to show what he had to say in both of these videos and Officer Tatum's response to both of these videos. Play that for us, please.
There we go. I'm going to leave that there because that's a whole nother conversation. But no, I want y'all to see his lie. Listen to this lie.
I want you to see how white supremacy operates behind the scenes. You can't challenge the grand jury, Loon, because you don't even know who they are.
Right.
So the people who decided this 17-year-old would be charged with murder are complete secrets. And you and I both know they all white. Are you with me? So first, deal with the grand jury.
They all secrets, but you and I both know that they white. Did I not just say that this nigga's a fucking liar, dude? Why would you say that? They are all secrets, and we don't know who these people are, but we do know that they all white. He hadn't even been running his mouth 30 seconds, and that's what this nigga says. He makes shit up and lies. He's a fucking scam artist.
Him being charged with murder was a crime in and of itself.
So what do you say about the
Let
event?
me give you one more. You're moving too fast.
Go ahead.
Hold on. In Texas, if you're 17, you're automatically tried as an adult. Grand jury had no control over that. Are you with me?
Yes.
He was 17. He's automatically tried as an adult, but he doesn't automatically have to be indicted with murder. That could have been aggravated, right? Manslaughter.
Right.
There's a whole list of crimes they could have went with.
So you're saying he should have been charged, just not with
time out.
Yeah, I'm just saying, niggas love to lie. That's the best way that I can say this. Niggas love to lie. Because the thing is this. It's not like I just sit and pick a charge. Charges ain't just made up, like, unless it, well, I know, let me be correct. The only made up charge where a motherfucker can just make some shit up and your ass be guilty is a fucking RICO. A RICO, in my opinion, is probably the worst charge ever. It is truly a unjust charge. I don't know how the fuck they have established the RICO Act and all that shit, but a RICO charge is bullshit. That's just some hearsay. But for this motherfucker to just be able to say a charge is just made up, that's not how that works. There are certain aspects of a crime that indicate what the charge or the appropriate charge should be. Based on the evidence of the crime, those things are what determines the level of a charge and what it is. It's not just somebody makes it up and says, I'm going to charge them with this. They have to actually, in a grand jury, explain why they are doing that and what that charge entails and how they made that charge to be the appropriate one that they are seeking the grand jury to indict them. Just saying. I'm just saying. They ain't like they just got a fucking pinwheel that they spin and throw darts and say, yep, there it is. It's that one. That's not how that works. And I'm just saying like this, man. We have got to get to the point, if you're talking about just how to wrap this up and just come up with, hey, man, how do we fix this? How do we get better? We have got to stop with the lies, and we have got to stop not listening and not accepting truth tellers. Those of us that are telling the truth, man, if we don't open up our ears and or incline our ears to these people that are telling the truth, then where are we that means we can be misled and can be led astray for anything. It has to stop. We have got to be able to acknowledge and accept the truth, no matter how hard or difficult it may be. We've got to get to a point to where we can accept the truth. If we can't accept the truth, then there's no way for us to move forward in the right direction. That means we will be forever doomed to move in the wrong direction, and we will forever keep repeating those generational curses, and these things will continue to happen, and we will be damned. That's all I'm saying. The statement of the truth shall set you free. Don't mean that the truth won't hurt your feelings. It don't mean that the truth won't offend you. It don't mean that the truth won't bother you, and it don't mean that you will like the truth. The truth is just that. It's the truth. it ain't meant to make you feel no kind of way. It's just not. Truth should lead you to action, one way or the other. One of my great men in my life that I respect said that the offend me to good works. Offend me to good works. That's good stuff. And we should all be in a position, or want to be in a position, to where we can be, even in being offended, moved to good works. Offend me to good works. Because if you can't be moved to good works based on the truth, then that in itself is a problem for not just you, but for us all. I want to say thank you to everybody that came by and supported the show. Thank you guys for clicking the like button. Thank you guys for all of the super chats. I appreciate each and every last one of them. You guys continue to just amaze me with just your support after all of these years. I really do appreciate that. I'm so thankful for the uplifting and the movement in the channels and stuff now. With this YouTube reset, it's been really inspiring and encouraging. So I'm back at it. I hope you all stay at it. And man, till next time, peace, and I'm out. Y'all have a good night. Later.